Now talking to it.
Oh my gosh, I just panicked. I have no idea what to say.
We're just testing it.
Test,
Yeah, you talk
talk.
pretty loud.
What?
What's up? You talk loud. You can see the lines on yours.
Good levels.
Well, it could also be the music, though.
I feel like I usually project my voice pretty loud.
Yeah, that's all I ask. What do you think we should talk about?
How to solve world hunger.
I think we should not do that. That sounds fucking miserable. Dude, how good was that cookie, though?
Good cookie.
I agree with you. I can't eat more than we're going. Yeah, we are.
Oh, shit.
The panic that came over your eyes. I could not eat more than one of those.
No, very dense. Very thick cookie.
I want... Hello. You can come sit down. You're going to have to. Otherwise, you got to sit in the room. You can be in the camera. You're going to be on the next episode. It's all right. Connor's nervous.
Yeah, I've got the yips right now. I have no idea what to talk about.
No, I think I said this last night, if you would have asked, or did I say this morning, if you would have told me we were going to do a sober podcast this weekend, I would have laughed in your face.
I actually could have guessed it because we got too busy with the drinking to do a podcast.
Yeah. If we didn't do Kenny, I think we would have done it on Saturday. Which was intense. Have you seen the pictures she took?
Just the one of me making an inappropriate gesture with my hands.
Fair. With this one?
Yes.
The knuckle deep?
Knuckle deep, baby.
We need to get more of those. I think we need to go up as a group. You got stopped more than I did. I didn't get stopped at all. Were they upset about the shirt or?
No, just dumbfounded. Like, what does that say? Why? Why are you wearing this in public? And why aren't you upset that we're looking?
I should probably put like Fat Chance Podcast somewhere on there. Otherwise, it literally just looks like, yeah. Knuckle deep. Steven did a great job making those.
Yeah, there was one 4th grade teacher who was not impressed with it. She did not approve. One guy who liked it too much.
I think most of the guys are either going to like it too much or like try and pretend like it's bad so they look better.
Yeah.
When the girls like it, though, you're like, see, it's all fun and games. And it honestly has nothing to do with fingering.
No. Well, the best part was that I just kept forgetting that I had it on.
Oh, I completely forgot I had it on.
Yeah.
I just thought I was wearing a white T-shirt. We look like idiots. I would not have wanted any other seat in that stadium, I think.
No, I think that was perfect. Like, if you're not super
the
close,
pit,
you might as well nosebleeds. We had our space.
So much space.
I get to dance around and flail like I do.
Jake wasn't worried about his knee, although we might as well. I mean, you could tell he sat by himself for a bit. I haven't seen Jake that energetic in a while.
No, it was good to see.
Until he got to the buses.
The bus situation. Well, at one point, he's like, oh, I just tore my hamstring.
Yeah.
And then he sprints after the bus. I was like, okay, bud. Hamstring's looking pretty good to me.
Yeah, he was grumpy. I think he just did, 3 hours of country music and watching us lose our shit. And he goes, we're going to a boom, boom, beep, beep place for the rest of the night.
Yes. Jake was not a fan of country music when...
No, but we forced it
We
upon
met
him,
him.
and now he's a better person for it.
Yeah, I agree. Still the laser beam guy.
There were more words in one of Kenny Chesney's songs than what we heard in the entire night at St. Bibliani's.
The only words that I can remember is woot, woot.
Oh, my God. You guys would not stop doing that. You both got way too into it. Once one of you started, it was like a domino effect. Ooh, ooh. Oh, my God damn it. Jake
that happens like at most shows that I've been to.
Really?
At one point, yeah. It's like a common thing. I thought it was for one artist. Nope.
I've only been to one of the laser beam festivals, and that was Big Wild For my first one, that's a pretty good show to go.
That was
to
one
from
at
what I
Red
heard,
Rocks
yeah.
you went to.
Red
yeah.
Rocks, yeah.
Yeah.
See, now everything. If I see anyone anywhere else of that kind of music, I would hate it. Like Red Rocks is such a cool venue that if I saw Big Wild at like the rave here, I'm like, this is fucking stupid. I'm gonna go sit in the bathroom and drink.
In Denver, there's actually one of my favorite indoor venues I've ever been to. It's called Mission Ballroom. It was built like a couple years ago, and it feels like an indoor Red Rocks. It's
Really?
obviously not as cool, not as
Yeah.
aesthetically pleasing. Like, I don't catch myself just looking back at the
Oh.
crowd in the middle of it, because I will do that at least once a show.
Oh,
It's just
yeah.
look up, look at the sky, the way the rocks are lit.
I did that once at the Big Wild concert when finally everyone kicked in or everything kicked in for everyone else, and they were having the time of their life, and then I was like, all right, now is when I look, because I'm in a clear space right now.
Yeah.
And everyone was just like mesmerized. I was like, in my head, I'm like, half you people aren't even real to me.
No. The craziest thing that I've experienced at Red Rocks was for a show, I can't remember which one, but they were handing out 3D glasses, like real plastic glasses, not just the cheap flimsy ones.
Mm-hmm.
And their visuals the whole night were like coming at you. And I would just be like grabbing my hand out and being like, oh, put your hand down, Connor. This is not real.
Yeah, you look to your left and your right, and everyone else is doing the exact same thing.
You're like, okay,
I
I'm
don't-
with the right people.
I don't think I could handle that. I hate 3D movies. Like, when Avatar came out, like, you want to see it in 3D? I'm like, no, I don't. Because constantly I'm looking down like this because I'm curious and impulsive. I'm like, oh, what would it be like if I just didn't see it clearly? And so I'd have it like half and half, and then by the end of it, I got a headache, and I want to throw up.
I think the last movie I liked like that was Spy Kids. But that was when I was like 5.
Great
And
movie.
yeah. I remember asking my parents like every year for Christmas, I wanted the little spider Ralph guy.
Yes, same.
And they're like, we can't do that for you.
The thumb people freaked me out. What's your favorite one? My favorite one is the island.
I like the
one.
island. I wanted my own little mini zoo.
I wanted my own mini zoo. I also wanted that like secret like hideaway they had where they put in like Big Mac into the microwave, and 2 seconds later there's a Big Mac and fries. I was like, I want that.
Yeah, Spy Kids was a sweet movie. They were living my dream life.
Do you not remember Spy Kids? Well, I mean, it's just the same movie. Just
The 3D one was, I think, the last one, and it was like the video game themed.
Did you ever watch Shark Boy and Lava Girl?
I did.
I don't remember it. I think I might have.
George Lopez is in that, right?
Yeah, he had a big like
Giant
big,
head.
yeah, big for a while. I watched his show, George Lopez Naked Night. Like,
I can still just like be in my bed going, because I used to fall asleep with the TV all
everyone.
the time, and just that intro music.
It gets louder, and everyone's
Yes.
jumping on the trampolines. You wake up and long. That was a great show. Nick at Night had, I think, the best TV shows. George Lopez, Fresh Prince.
I liked Home Improvement.
Loved Home Improvement. The Nanny, Family Matters.
The Nanny bugged me.
Her voice was obnoxious.
Yes.
Obnoxious.
I could not do with it.
But could you do Family Matters, Urkel? Did you ever watch that one?
I didn't watch that one as much, but when I did, I liked it.
That's a very specific type of humor.
I think it was just like, in my head, Urkel was hilarious.
Mhm.
Like, my parents were like, he's the funniest ever, so I just was like, yes.
Just told you, it was funny.
Yeah.
That's good. I couldn't watch it now, any of those. Well, I could watch Fresh Prince now. There are still some really good episodes of
Fresh
that.
Prince is one of my favorite.
Do you know they have a
shows for
remake
while.
of it?
No.
It's like it's the same thing. I think Will Smith is helping produce it, but it's like modern day.
Do they have any of the same cast, or is it just like a complete reboot type?
I don't know. I bet it's like one of like an entourage thing where it's based off
Cameo.
Marky Mark's life, so like he shows up every once in a while. I can see that, but I think it's supposed to be like a more dramatized version of it.
Okay.
I don't know. Can we give it a Goog over there? Can we give it a Goog over there?
Our assistant.
Fresh Prince reboot or the remake? I don't even think it's called Fresh Prince.
They did that too with Fuller House on Netflix. I watched the first season of that in college and just couldn't get into it.
No, I did too. And then I think it was just like the nostalgia feel, like when they show up, because it is the entire same cast plus a few extras, because you're gonna need a few other people, and then the same set, which is cool. And then when the original cast of guys comes back, because it's about the daughters,
right?
That was good. They constantly make jokes about Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen not showing up.
Classic.
I remember that. Because I think she's the only one that didn't make it into that show.
Yeah, even the neighbor girl is back in it, Kimmy.
Yeah. She's like one of the main characters in that one. Bob Saget died, though. He's no longer in that show.
Do we know how he died?
I think it was head trauma. He had, like, he fell, and then it might have been like a brain bleed. Can I give it a Goog? Wait, what was the answer to that?
She does not want to be the Google girl.
She wanted to watch. Oh, Bel Air. Okay. Can we get the description? We
That's
hired
really
an
bad
intern
podcasting.
here.
Unpaid.
Yeah, unpaid. Really unpaid. In fact, she brought us cookies. So,
making negative money.
yeah.
Love that.
Okay, Bel Air, show about Fresh Prince. Moving on. What were we talking about? Oh, the other. What was the Goog? The other Goog.
How Bob Saget died. That bummed me out.
Yeah, I don't like seeing comedians die.
He reminds me a lot of my dad, or at least his character in Full House reminds me of my dad. The just lanky, goofy, super funny family guy.
I think it's amazing, though, how different he was in real life.
Yeah, he was
like,
a
it's almost
dirty comic.
as fuck.
Yeah.
Do you know who Bill Engvall is?
Yes. We would watch the
Blue Collar Comedy too.
Yeah.
I forgot who I talked. It might have been Avery told me. He goes, you see him live, he's like dirty.
Which is shocking because all that stuff was so clean. Like,
Well,
in my
had to
head,
for that
he's
tour.
like Jeff Foxworthy, pretty clean jokes.
Mm-hmm. He had to for that tour. I think Ron was the only one that was allowed to do like a little bit different stuff. I think Ron White's gonna do one more special and he's done.
He's getting up there.
Yeah, he doesn't drink anymore. Do you know that?
I think I heard you say that on this.
Yeah.
Somebody else. That shocked me. I thought he was just gonna go down with a blaze of glory, just never change.
Or he's gonna be that guy that just like is a picture perfect like bill of health, but smokes and drinks like a chimney.
Yeah, it's not good for you.
No, I mean it's fun for you. We did plenty of that. This is the most I've drank in a week since college.
Yeah, I was not ready for that. I didn't, throw up.
No.
Didn't Irish goodbye at all. I was very disciplined.
No, the only thing we almost all said goodbye though when the shooting happened, but other than that would have been an Irish goodbye to the world.
Yeah, that is not a good feeling when you just see people running towards you and you're at the open window at a bar like
everyone get down. I remember you just went like this.
She's sliding down the brick wall and I'm like, where is it?
Oh yeah, you would have been the first to go. I was in the bathroom, then I came back for the second round of running, and then I just kind of like peeked out the window. I'm like, I think we're fine, but because I didn't hear any shots.
That's what was confusing. No.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're also in a loud bar. The music's playing. There's people talking, and then everyone's screaming outside. That was bad when we both thought like, oh, is there another shooting going on at the bar yesterday? When everyone
they were
got
just
up,
moving to a different TV.
Yeah, but that's when you know there's a problem here. When people all got up to move to a different TV, and I thought people were hitting the ground. Like I did, like a quick jolt. Like what's
Did
going
you?
on?
Either of you ever have to do like trainings in school?
You had school shooting training?
Oh my gosh! In Colorado, that's like you practice it every year. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I knew exactly like you get into this corner. So anything like that, it's in my mind just way back there.
When did you do it? Oh God, yeah. By the time we were out, I think my sophomore year, we had like 2 bomb threats and a bolt in the hallway. Yeah, I remember. In the span of a week. And I remember coming to school on a Tuesday or a Monday. The school got canceled, and there were metal detectors. I got flagged because there was a fork in my backpack. Like, what are you doing with this? I'm like, probably eating, but I was like, you can keep it. I don't need the fork. I don't know why there was a fork in my backpack.
I don't think we ever had metal detectors.
We had it for a
school.
day. Like you stopped a gun.
We would
coming
have
once.
like dog canine units come in.
Oh, we did that once a year.
Pretty often. A lot of kids would get busted with like weed and
Once
other
a year.
stuff in their lockers.
Once a year, people got caught with stuff in there. They would search our cars. So they go into the parking lot and like people, you would see. I had like people in my class just like, Kevin, can you please come to the office? And you know what it's for because they locked the doors. They're like, we're like, why are you locking the doors, Mrs. Johnson? Like they're searching your lockers, and you just look at the stoners start to sweat. Like, all right. They're like, fuck, I forgot to take out of my car.
I remember one time I had come back from hunting with my dad, and I had my shotgun still in the back of my car. Forgot, and they were doing a check, and I just left school. I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna be in so much trouble. I was like hyperventilating, crying. My mom had to like call me out, calm me down. She was like, you did the right thing.
You're fine.
I was so stressed.
Yeah, and I think at the end of that, you wouldn't have been in trouble, but
yeah,
because I mean, I don't know what the law is with you having a gun without, as long as if it was in a case and had like a gun lock on it or like a trigger lock on it.
I don't think it had any locks, but it was in the case,
Cased
unloaded.
Up. Yeah.
Whatever, just, completely.
Do you use trigger locks for your guns?
I don't. No.
We
have
have
a gun safe.
We have them on ours.
I don't even
We don't
know
have
the
a gun
code.
safe.
Yeah.
Be cool to have a gun safe. Those are expensive.
They
as hell.
are.
They look so sweet, though. Maybe we should put that as a decoration here and just have. That'd be a cool like bar cart. Is a gun safe. You open it up and everything's.
I like that a lot.
I think I know my next little project. How much are
Sounds
gun
expensive.
safes? Can we give it a Goog?
Those are expensive. I'm pretty sure
Give it a Goog t-shirts.
Give it a Goog.
Give it a Goog.
Sponsor this podcast.
Google, yeah, sponsors podcast. We'll be moving out of this.
You need it.
We would be moving out of this apartment ASAP if Google sponsored this show.
Sweet.
We are sponsored by Bounty, though. If you look to my left, we have so much paper towel and toilet paper. How much are gun safes? That's an expensive bar cart.
Yeah, it's probably not worth it.
But that'd be so
I wonder
cool.
if you could just like paint a wooden cabinet to look like one,
Right.
and then you could even buy some like metal stuff on the top.
I'd want one that has like that spin wheel, though.
Yes.
Like it would be like my own
like
mini Lucille's. Yeah.
Yes.
Be my own mini Lucille's. Put it right there. Or right there. I just get rid of Jake's janky one. It's nice, but it's gonna fall apart.
That
soon.
top drawer doesn't function. You were
No.
struggling with it
Yes,
earlier.
It locks up a lot. What is that thing on the bottom there? I don't know. We have a lot of stuff though. That's how I know we're getting older. Is none of the booze there is like the cheap plastic bottles. It's like weird experience. Like we
No.
have blackberry, raspberry gin, cucumber vodka, botanicals gin, which we finished this week. Simple syrups and agaves and
I have a lot of like single malt whiskeys that like
Yeah.
people have given me as gifts. Raha got me a super nice bottle from like a distillery in Colorado it's probably my favorite right now.
my mom has bottles of whiskey for me at her place that she went to Kentucky to like on a bourbon tour. And she's just like, do you guys want it? She just comes back with bottle. I'm like, you don't drink bourbon. She goes, you might like it. I'm like, I don't live with you.
What is your mom's go-to drink?
Wine.
Wine.
Yeah.
Mine too. Yeah.
It's simple. But wine, I feel like you can have like just casually throughout the week. If I just started randomly sipping on bourbon throughout the week, you guys would be checking up on me.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Just having my 3 glasses of bourbon before bed?
I was in a phase of like when I was working at the court
Yeah.
and just tough cases all the time. It was, get back home, 2 fingers, and
2 fingers isn't bad. I think,
yeah.
isn't a little alcohol kind of healthy for you a day? We have a nurse, so we don't need to give that one.
We didn't even need to Google
that one and ask. What's the most? No, because we don't have a microphone on you. Otherwise, we should have set one up. You'll be on next week, maybe. Stick your tongue out at me one more time. No. What was I gonna say? What were we talking about?
Drinks of choice. Have you had wine in a cigar?
No.
Wine pairs really well, like a
I believe it.
drier, like cab.
Yeah.
Little fruity, heavy. I don't know. I did it for the first time with my stepdad for his birthday. He was like,
I'm not a wine fan just because it gives me headaches and my stomach hurts. Like, do you remember I told her about this, but the first wine night we had, I was down there for 45 minutes before I was curled up in a ball in my room because my stomach just was like, you don't like this. I also probably drank an absurd amount in 45 minutes. But
my first wine night experience, I ended up looking like Sully from Monsters, Inc. I was wearing a blue shirt, and there were just splotches of red all over me. I remember being back in the dorms trying to scrub my shirt at like 3 a.m. My RA walks in, just turned around like, nope, I'm not dealing with this kid at all.
Those weren't like wild nights for... Cause I never really participated in them. I don't know why. Well, I actually know why after the first one. I'm like, this sucks. Yeah. I think I did one, but I would come down for a bit and we would do 1v1 whatever games, which was disgusting.
Yeah, 1v1 flip cup is not how you're supposed to play.
But it's a fun way to play. I think you beat me most of the time, but it would honestly start. I remember starting doing it by myself. And then you're like, you look like you need a buddy. And then it just didn't look much better with 2 people instead of 1. Because 1 person, I can just pretend like I'm drinking by myself. But if it's 2 people, like you guys are actively playing 1v1 flip cup.
Yeah, we weren't there to make any friends.
No. Just quickly down a box of Franzia, go curl up in a ball in your bed, and try not to die. I fell asleep between the 2 mattresses in the loft. Like, my feet were on Moore's bed, and my head was on mine. And I'm like, I hope I don't have to go to the hospital.
I just knew I was in trouble if people started carrying the bags around. Like, slap the bag.
If they started carrying the bags around.
When
there were multiple bags, just being, hey, slap it. You turn out, slap this one. No, slap that one. I'm like.
Well, I would get competitive with myself and be like, I'm going for my new record.
Oh,
tonight.
yeah, all the time.
How long can I go?
All the time. It was disgusting.
Bad choice.
Dude. How weren't we fatter? Like,
I was fat.
We all were, but like, how were we not 250 plus?
I think honestly, the best thing for me is how much I walked in Madison.
Yeah, we did.
That was a pretty long campus. I would walk up Bascom Hill every day. Never took the 80 or any of the buses.
Yeah,
had to walk for groceries. Never had cars. I think that's truly what saved me because.
That sucked when we lived in the house and needed to get in the summer. Getting groceries was the absolute fucking worst. Carrying that from Fresh. Was that Fresh, right?
Yeah.
To the house. I mean, that's a good.
No, that's why I brought my car.
Yeah. And
had it there for a little while. And then we could go to like Festival and some of those grocery stores.
Festival's nice.
That made a big difference.
Fresh Market. I mean, you pay for the convenience for that. Like, that place was expensive as shit.
They did do, like, the free delivery and stuff, though, that I took advantage of for a while our junior year.
You had to order, what, like over $50?
Yeah, because otherwise I could only carry so much without the bag ripping on me or my shoulders getting wobbly.
Tags,
on the way.
Tags should have bought out part of that basement or rent out another space and put like some produce down there. Do I think it would have been fresh? Absolutely not. But I would have gotten so many groceries from them.
Yeah. We might have been some of Tag's best customers
100%. Dude,
summer.
Our laundry was in their back room.
Those washer and dryers were the worst. I will never forget walking out with damp clothes because the dryers were broken. It was on the way in between my clothes literally like froze.
Oh, yeah.
Solid. Because it was so cold out.
The first day we used those machines, I opened the washing machine and I was like, standing water. Like nothing drained ever. And I go, this is going to take a while to dry. Try drying them, still dripping with water. We had my laundry, your laundry, Zim's laundry, Pape's laundry, JC's laundry, Conley's laundry, McCarthy's laundry, all on our balcony.
The balcony.
And we had the blue tarp from the bar that we just put on the ground. Like, hey, just throw your clothes on here and hang them off the railings. It looked like we ran a laundry service at our place the first week. It was disgusting. And then we played washer roulette the rest of the year. And so if someone went down, we're like, hey, this one works. We're like, right one, like right when you walk in, all the way to the right, use that one. Don't use a different one.
I remember some guys having to go all the way to like Duncan and Fanning
in
their house because they were the only people with
Zim and Pape would do that,
yeah.
And it was getting expensive. They like upped the prices, I think, halfway through the year.
$250 to...
Yeah, it was gross.
Yeah.
I remember scrounging up quarters.
I'm such a cheap ass. While we were working at the bar, when I was bar backing, I would just pick up quarters on the ground, save them. I was like, this is laundry quarters.
Oh, yeah. I took quarters. Every time they were on, people would pay with quarters, I'd either put them in my pocket right away or the pile that were on the computers, I would just take all of them. Because, like, Bill probably wanted them.
So long.
I think that might be a 10-second end to laundry. I mean, that is insane how long that is.
How much do you think the person who made that got paid?
I don't know. But
that would be a sweet job. Just be a laundry machine jingle writer. I don't currently have a job, so that might be what I'm going for.
That would be how do you apply for that? How does that job come up? Or like if you are making these laundry machines, you're like, hey, we should have a jingle for this. Do you think they pay someone to make one, or just like, let's just go find a stock one? And who
makes a stock one?
I don't know, but like that's already paid for. Like I don't know. I don't fucking know. How do you make jingles for laundry machines?
I don't know. Most of them are just a chime. That one is a full song.
That is a full song.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, you think it ends 3 times. Or like there are 3. It's honestly, it has 2 choruses to letting me know it's finally dry, which I need to.
And you still forgot to switch the stuff yesterday.
Yeah, but it didn't smell because it was only like it wasn't terrible. So, and they dried and they didn't smell bad here. Plus, we use them to clean up food. As long as they don't reek like food, they're clean. I think.
Yeah, I think you're fine.
By the way, is it like really warm outside or is it like perfect? Perfect. It's perfect. What fun activity can we do outside? Because your shoulder hurts. Do you want to just do like wind sprints or something?
That's not what I would call a fun activity.
No, absolutely not. I think running is the worst thing you can do. Sprinting. You both like to run.
Yeah, I like running. Gross. Sprinting's different.
I think it's gross.
Sprinting, like, will get my asthma going. Like, basketball, I love to play it, but whatever, like, the super start and stop just gives me, like, that wheezy,
like,
barely breathe.
This Friday, that stuff, that's when I know I need to up my cardio because I'm like, we rolled for a minute and a half, and some of the times we didn't even make it to the minute and a half. We're like, he's got 10 seconds left, just let him rest it out. And I was like, I think I might pass out.
It's a different kind of cardio. Like, running distance controlled where, like, your heart rate's in a manageable spot is one thing. But when you're just trying to beat up your friend.
Trying to kill each other.
And, you're getting choked out. Yeah, it was worth it. I think that was good for our relationship. We needed to do that.
It was great. I think it was. I'm surprised it hasn't happened before. But is Avery not like a psychopath?
Yeah. The second I got onto the mat with him and looked into his eyes,
he's like,
it's like, maybe I don't want to go against him. Is there somebody smaller or less experienced?
Me.
Perfect.
We did 1 round of the 6 we were supposed to. We're like, can we hit the bag, please?
Oh, man. No, when he was showing you how to get in that pin, and my shoulders just went the wrong way. I was like, I do not want to do that again.
Yeah, that was. And then kicking, because I've never kicked the bag. I only hit the mitts when you had them on. That, my shin, it felt like it was, I mean, it's still tender right here, but it's a combination between, like, I think something's going to snap and I have sunburn.
Mine's not bad.
It's only, like, tender right here.
Mine hurts on the top of my foot when I kicked wrong.
Oh, yeah, you probably
Thought
broke your
I broke
foot.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a good chance. You got a week off, rest up.
I got nowhere to be.
This coffee is, like, hit me. I don't really have 2 cups this early in the morning. I'm, like, wired. But, like, tired wired. Does that make sense?
No.
Like, I feel like I need to lay down so I don't pass out.
That sounds like another health condition.
Yeah,
not
I
just
think I'm
being
dying.
tired.
I'm halfway through my life expectancy, so 52. I think 52 would be
52?
a good life. I think by the time I got to 52, I'd be like, I'm way too young to die.
I really hope you don't die that early. That would be sad.
It'd be so sad. I'd have like 4 people miss me.
I'm not one of them.
I know. I think it'd be my mom, my dad, and maybe like 2 others. My brothers would be like, all right, one of us can step into the favorite child spot now. That's right,
You're
Andrews.
the favorite?
Hands down, I'm the favorite. No, I'm not the favorite. I'm just in the middle. So Andrew is mama's boy, her baby. Do whatever for him. Steven and my dad are very similar in their interests. So, like, I think they get along the best, and I'm pretty much down the middle. Like, I look like my dad. I get my temper from my dad. My sense of humor is from my mom. Sense of adventure is from my mom. I tend to argue with both of them sometimes. I don't know. Andrew and my dad fight the most. Steven and my mom fight the most. I'm the peacemaker. I am the glue that keeps...
The glue.
I'm not.
My sister always says that. She's the glue. Her and my stepbrother, they call themselves the glue.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely not the glue. I might be a third parent to, like, Andrew, but other than that...
I used to be the favorite when I was little. And then
Who's the
the
favorite now?
second round of siblings came, and gosh.
They're like, fuck you guys.
I think my older sister is probably everybody's favorite. She's the best.
She's a...
Yeah. She's the best communicator. I'll go weeks without talking to my parents and get a text like, just want to know if you're alive.
Yeah, I get that a lot too. Checking in. I mean, what was it, 2-3 years ago when you first... No, you were still living at home and about to start law school, I believe. And I surprised you by coming down with Zim for 4th of July. My mom texted me as I landed in Denver. She goes, I see you're in Denver. Thanks for letting us know. It was more like, hey.
Were you living with her at the time, too?
No, I was in Miami.
Okay.
So I lived in Miami, came home, said hi, went to Minnesota, drove to Minnesota, and then Zim's like, I'm going to Denver. I'm like, that'd be fun. He goes, you should go. And I looked at flights hammered on a dock in Minnesota, and I was like, it's $116. Bye. And then Zim and I woke up 45 minutes before the flight, and we're like, oh, shit. I skipped an entire, like, security line, and I mean, like, maybe 200 people. We just walked to the front and went in. They're like, who are you guys? We're like, we need to get to our flight. Got to Denver, and my mom's like, just out of curiosity, are you in Colorado right now? I go, yeah, okay, just making sure.
Yeah, I remember going to the airport, and Sam sends me a text. He goes, we landed. It's like, who is we? Like, is he talking about his split personalities? And then Michael walks out like, oh.
Yeah, I think you're like, I didn't know Michael was coming.
Yeah, I had to tell my parents. We were staying at my parents. I was like, so we got an extra guest. Hope you don't mind, which it wasn't a big deal at all.
This is Michael.
Ooh.
I did not choose Amazon. The amount of calls and just spam calls I get are absurd. The insurance one is so annoying now. I fucked up doing that.
There is a man named Davy George. I don't know who this man is, but he puts my phone number down on everything. The amount of times I've gotten different calls, looking for Davy George. And
It
you're just
sounds like a
no.
pirate.
I know. Like, who is messing with me?
Arr, Davy George. He holy shit, this game got out of hand. No, I was telling you earlier, I put my number down because I need to get health insurance now because I'm an adult. No, I'm not. And they're like, to get a quote for insurance, and I have no fucking clue what I'm doing. But I have a client who's like, just go here. And I put my number down last Thursday. And in the span of me putting my number in and me finishing up with him as a client was an hour, I had 32 phone calls. And I'm like, this is Michael. And they're like, they would wait a few seconds. I'm like, hello? It's the same thing. And then they're like, this is blah, blah, blah with whatever insurance. I see you're looking for insurance. I'm like, I'm not. They're like, did you fill out this questionnaire? I'm like, no, I did not. I did. But they're like, so you're not looking for insurance? I'm like, not from you. He goes, but so how can I help you? I go, what part of I don't want to talk to you do you not fucking understand?
It's so tough.
And then they keep going. And then finally one guy answered, and I was sick of him. I was like just sick of getting these phone calls. And he's like, hi, are you looking for insurance? And I'm like, no, I'm not. He goes, is this Michael Cussy? I go, no, it's not. He goes, so you didn't fill out information for insurance? I go, no, I did not. He goes, well, would you be looking for? I'm like, and I stopped. I'm like, even if I was Michael and I did fill this out, what part of what I just said makes it seem like I want to fucking talk to you? And he goes, all right, fine, man. I'll hang up. I was like, exactly. Thank you. Like, I'm an asshole to these people. And they're doing their jobs, but I don't care. Like, I did not ask to be called.
Yeah. I'm very thankful I've never had a cold calling job because I'm sure you just get shit on all day.
I did it once for 3 days and quit.
Oh, yeah. Is that the
sales job?
Yes.
Or day one, he's like, 3 of my friends committed suicide, so we do this every week now or every year now. I'm like, thanks, man. I feel like you're the common denominator. Can I please get out of this car now?
That was a weird, awkward
He was
situation.
so confident in his sales ability. So confident. And I watched him strike out like 7 times in 3 days. He goes, usually it takes me 3, like 3 max, and I'll have a sale. And in the first week of training, he's basically said, if we sell anything, you can have 50% of the commission, which was $500 for what is 50% of it. You sell one thing, you get $1,000. So I'm like, this would be great. I guess sell one thing a week, and it's such a livable wage for what I want to do. Now I have to cold call hundreds of people a week. And he goes, it'd take me 3. We could probably sell like 3 or 4 of these. You could walk out of here with like $2,000 this week. I'm like, fuck yeah. He goes, you just need to book the appointments. So I booked all these appointments, and he would go to try and sell these places. And he goes, you need to stick to the script, man. I'm like, I don't think you really need to stick to the script all the time, dude. Brought a binder this fucking thick. He's like, we're going to go through his entire binder, and then I'll show you the prices. I go, you lost them immediately already. No one wants to read a binder.
No. That's an
this
immediate box
But, like,
checked. I'm just not paying attention anymore.
And then he would go, like, his personality wouldn't change from, like, psychopathic, narcissistic.
What were you
D-bag.
selling again? Was it advertisements like at grocery stores?
Yeah, I was told it was called, I won't say the name of the company, but if we go to a grocery store, I bet you I can show you, or if we went to Metro today, I'd show you the logo. It rhymes with Schmindor Media. And they were like, I didn't even know I applied to this job. They called me and they're like, do you want the job? I was like, sure. And what caught my attention was like, you make $1,000 per sale, 100% commission job. I'm like, $1,000, sell 1 a week, easy. And like, you're gonna sell media to small businesses, or like grocery stores. I thought that like when they said grocery stores, like that was an example of where I would sell media. I get into this stranger's car day one, and he goes, so your job is we're going to sell advertisement space on grocery carts to areas. So the people, like, their advertisements that are on the handles.
Yeah, I know
and
exactly
then the
what you're talking about
advertisements that
now.
are on the front of grocery carts.
Yep.
Which
Have
I
never paid
noticed,
attention to.
Never pay attention to. You just know they're there. You're going to sell that space. And so I would have to cold call everyone, like in the area, like, hey, do you want to spend this much money so you can advertise for this many months? And they're like, no. But like the prospecting was the worst fucking thing, because we would go into like, you ever go to like church? It's been probably years.
I just
like,
go on like the holidays.
You get like, I don't even do that anymore, but like the church bulletins or whatever, and they'd have like, a bunch of like advertisements everywhere. We like call those companies because clearly they're trying to advertise. I'm like, they bought a 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch square on a church bulletin. I don't think they're gonna buy a 1 foot by 1 foot thing on a grocery cart. But he goes, sometimes the churches won't give you anything if you're not a part of the church, so you need to lie. I'm like, for one, I haven't been into church in a while, and I don't think I should lie. Provided all this is real, I'm going straight to hell. I mean, he goes, just lie. Say you and your fiance just moved to the area, and you're looking to join a church and find a happy, loving community. I'm like, what part of my face says happy, loving community? So it was
You would not have done well in that job for very long.
No.
If you had maybe your own independence, I think you could have sold.
Yeah, and like once he left, I could have made it my own for sure. But I also don't like selling something that I don't believe in either. So I'm like, this isn't going to help your company. This helps me. And that's why I think sales jobs, they have the number one, I can't figure out the right way to say this, but like the most like narcissistic people do that. They're like really good at being just assholes, and like what benefits them they can thrive in.
Right.
So like most psychopaths work in sales.
I feel like they should sell more advertisements at urinals.
Yeah, dude, did you see, I don't know what country it is, but somewhere, it might be Japan or something, they put a fly on men's urinals. Like a picture of a fly, like tiny little fly at the back of a men's urinal with like the optimal space to like aim your stream, because guys will naturally try and piss it off.
Oh yeah.
And it reduced the amount of cleanup costs in bathrooms because of it.
That is genius.
Yeah.
I would absolutely be trying to pee on the fly.
Exactly. You know, if you know what a cool urinal would be, imagine you could have like a screen in the back of the urinal
and play a game.
And you could like piss away certain things, like Brick Breaker, just with your piss. Or you have like an advertisement, but it's like that DVD thing that bounces around, so you just try and follow it. But then you're staring at that advertisement forever. So make it like you're in a stadium. Make it like Miller Lite. So you're pissing on Miller Lite, but you're like, I'm going to go get a Miller Lite after this because I just drained myself of Miller Lite.
That would work on me.
I think that's a genius idea. I would definitely sell urinal space. Or make the urinal cakes like, hey, you know those like soaps or whatever, the more you use it and it has like a little critter on the inside, make the urinal cake clear. The more you pee on it, it gets to like a little toy. And if you're crazy enough, you can have the toy.
I'm in. Yeah. This is a great idea.
I think that's our next $1 million idea.
You get the cool ones that like change colors, like the cups.
Exactly.
Mountains are blue. How warm's your pee?
How dehydrated
are you?
I would be
curious. I would definitely want to know.
Or, yeah, you piss into it, and at the end it pops up. It says, you need X amount more beers. Mix in a water. Head to the Tito's stand. He gives you a coupon because you're not drunk enough. Like, here's 50 cents off your next Tito's mixer. Dude, we could make millions in the bathroom game.
Definitely.
Is there a market for that? Can we give it a Goog? I'm just kidding. I don't know what you would Google for that. No one steal our ideas. Copyright. Trademark.
That's how those work.
It is. I don't even know if that's what you need. Patent?
Patent's the hardest to get.
Well, we have a lawyer.
Time. Yeah. In a couple months.
In a couple months, yeah.
Yep.
I think between the three of us, a nurse, a lawyer, comedian.
We just sound like the start of our own joke.
We can make a really healthy, legal, funny product.
That sounds like a lot of contradictions.
No, like
healthy,
we
funny,
make
legal.
It does not sound like it's gonna be fun. No, like we make sure when we pee on the urinal cake, it doesn't dispose of any chemicals that are gonna cause cancer or something. You make sure we don't get sued by another urinal cake company, and we'll put my face on it.
Perfect. I would definitely pee on you.
Oh my god, yeah, that'd be so fun.
Fat chance urinal cakes.
Yes.
Steven.
Fat chance
Get to
you
work.
missed the toilet, yeah. That might be one of the best dumb ideas we've come up with on here. Like, that's an actual, I think, reasonable thing you could do.
Yeah. That just shocks me that it's not more common.
Do you know how expensive, like, a digital screen urinal would be, though?
Yeah, that's probably not going to be in
That
most
one would be
people's
tough.
budgets.
But what if there was, like, a sensor in the back and the screen was above it?
Yeah.
Or
that could work. You just get like a little laser.
Or hear me out on this one. It's like one of those Mario Party games kind of thing where you have to trace the outline. Okay, so you could either have it like a line in the back and you just try and trace it, and then at the end a thing pops up and you're like, you got 98% of it. Or it just has sensors in the back and you try and draw a picture and it's like, this is what you actually drew.
I would spend too much time in the bathroom.
Oh, I would drink so much just to pee again. What? What?
No.
I'm fucking pissed. I'm done. I'm done.
It is so hard to have original ideas.
Wait. Prosecco. No one wants Prosecco. We'll beat him with that. What's the name of this company? Wired? Isn't that like a...
Hanging Wire? That's a pretty good name.
Captive Media. Hit us up. If you don't, fuck you.
If you don't chew Big Red.
Oh, we got a U.S.
We can bring it to the
right
States.
Here. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's better across
Be like the
pond here.
Kingsman of urinals.
Exactly. Oh, we're gonna do this. That's what, screw the butter company. I want to do. We're doing urinals.
Please, explain the butter company to me because
It's a terrible
to me
idea.
there is one butter, and it's just butter.
It is. No, I just think it'd be fun, and it'd be all about marketing because so many people can do it. But compound butter is basically just you take normal butter and you mix a bunch of stuff in it, and so it's like the way to describe it is you ever have like basically compound seasonings. So if you did like people just have like pre-made rubs, so you can go to Costco and be like, oh, this is garlic chicken herb seasoning instead of just them individual.
Okay.
So like it would be like a good farmer's market thing if you like had the right packaging and it was efficient enough. You do like, all right, you have homemade like fresh term. You just get heavy whipping cream and you just beat the shit out of it till it becomes butter, and then you have fresh buttermilk as well, and then you add whatever you want to it. So like you do garlic and herbs, so garlic, salt, pepper, parsley, and that's your garlic and herb butter. Goes great on steaks, fish, chicken. You do brown sugar bourbon or honey chipotle, or you could do dill and stuff like that. But you have just multiple different butters for different things. And so like I did a honey chipotle butter, made it once, and it was I put it on green beans, and Andrew's like, I'd eat these every single day.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
All right,
And
I'm
it's like,
convinced.
and it's easy. And then in my head, because I'm dumb confident, like it's a blind confidence for sure, but it would work out so well. And then I named the company Compound. Again, no one take my copyright trademark. That's how it works. Name it Compound because it's compound butters. Someone fucking takes this home. If it's Wired again, I'll kill him. And then I would do so well, then I'd go and build like a compound in like the mountainy lake area, like probably Denver. And I'd have just a house and be nice kitchen. But I want like a pole barn, driveway all the way through it, big door, man toys, and then it's 2 stories. And I want like a podcast studio, kitchen. You can do like games there, like bar, all that.
That's
stuff.
basically my dream house.
It's literally.
I love the pole barn
I
looks.
don't
I think they're
give a
efficient
flying fuck
and-
about my house. I want to build my own pole barn.
Yeah.
My significant other can do the house for the most part. I will veto the kitchen again, but and I want to design up like a giant pole barn.
I think.
But I mean huge, where like the middle is like just cement, so I could just pull in. I could park like 4 cars.
My
And
dream is to
then-
have my own plane.
Own plane.
And be able. Yeah,
That's
just
hers.
a
She
little-
wants to fly her own plane.
We should hang out.
Yeah, I told her
Yeah.
she'd fly her own plane.
I think in August I'm gonna take classes to get my pilot's license.
I'm
after I
gonna
take the
do my
bar.
motorcycle license first this summer.
Yeah, I need to do that now that I lost my ID. It's perfect time.
Yeah.
I just am afraid to tell my parents. My
Yeah.
mom's not gonna like that idea.
Losing your ID or
No.
flying a plane.
Motorcycle more. I think they'd be
Oh.
okay with the plane. I've always wanted to do that.
Yeah,
So
I think it'd be cool. It'd scare the shit out of me. I'd rather just have a friend that can fly. Like Alec was on here.
yeah,
That was such a fun conversation for me because it was someone was doing something.
so interesting.
Yeah, but I was like, hey, we're going to North Carolina a few times. He just needs to re-up.
Yeah, once like he gets current, it also helps him because you can fly your buddies around, split the costs,
Exactly.
and then it helps him keep his hours up to date.
Yeah, it'd be so fun. It would take a little longer because you're not going as fast, but I would do an hour extra travel just to not spend $500 on flights.
Exactly.
Like, it's disgusting right now to fly.
And like be able to have some control over your flight plan when you want to
Literally leave whenever.
Like can avoid weather and stuff like that. Have a pretty nice ride. You're not just stuck with, oh, it's turbulent today.
Yeah,
So
that'd be fun. But I want to do motorcycle first. Like, get it, and then maybe just have days where, like, I rent a bike or something. But eventually start. One of my clients is really big into motorcycles. Alec is really big into it, and he's moving down here with my old neighbor, Jake. And he's got Jake into him, so, like, they can help me find one. Or I could buy Jake's because he's selling his.
they are more expensive than I thought, to be honest.
But to have one, and what
Would
sucks
you
is
do
like
Harley?
no, I
No.
would do a sport bike.
Yeah.
Harley to me is an older person bike. I would do either. I would probably do a sport bike first or an Indian.
I like the
I want
Indian
I
bikes.
want like an old Indiana Jones, James Bond kind of motorcycle.
Yes, like James Dean is basically who
Yeah.
I want to be.
Exactly. It'd be so fun. But those bike, like sport bike, I would be fine wearing a helmet. An Indian, I'd be like, I can't wear a helmet. It just doesn't fit the look.
That's fair. I can see that.
Like, and I feel like if
Especially
I wore a
the
sport
newer
bike
modern
helmet,
helmets.
if I wore a sport bike helmet on a Harley, I'd be like, you look like a jackass.
Yeah.
You either got to have that like half eggshell that makes it look like you're wearing it because you need to. I hate those helmets. I fucking hate those.
I had the worst, most embarrassing helmet when I like first tried to get into skateboarding. Like my mom just bought me a bike helmet.
Yeah.
I was like, Mom, I am
It's
gonna
got the
get
visor
picked
on the
on.
front.
Yes. Oh, so cringy.
I hated those. I never wore a helmet riding a bike when I was younger. Never. I never really fell, though.
No.
What's your worst, like, accident as a kid on that stuff?
I didn't have a lot of bad accidents doing that kind of stuff when I was younger. I had a scooter accident when I was in high school. We were on like
Like
the
a
little
pedal
razor
scooter?
scooters.
Oh, the razor ones?
Yeah. And
The ankle breakers?
Grant just has this super long road that is in that gated community, so you could just bomb it.
Yeah.
And I was like 6 whatever on a tiny little scooter getting the speed wobbles. And so I went to brake, and I was going so fast that the back tire melted. And so it was just a square, and I flipped over the handlebars, slid like 30 yards on the road. My pants and my sweatshirt melted into my body. It was the nastiest road rash.
That's disgusting.
And all my friends were just making fun of me like, yeah, you shouldn't have braked. That was
What
the
was this,
sympathy
high
I had.
school?
Yeah, it was in high school.
Damn.
They were nuts. That family would put each other in tires and roll each other down the hill. And like,
part of me wishes I'd done like, 'cause then you're really afraid of nothing growing up, or like as you get older.
I was a little bit more timid always, more reserved.
I was too, but also
cautious.
looking back, I think if I told people some of the stuff we did, we were more like stupid. Like, you're either timid to do dangerous stuff or like stuff is like, parents aren't gonna like this. I think we did more of that.
I was the kid who would just like go off into the woods and build stuff by himself.
Oh yeah.
Like, I was always outside, but not a big action sports.
We did Airsoft. Like, people were like, you willingly shot people with guns. I was
oh
like,
my
yeah,
gosh.
absolutely. Like, we had a game with our neighbor Matt, like Joel. You know Joel.
Yeah.
Joel had this super nice sniper, and we would look at Matt and we'd be like, we wouldn't even like, hey, do you want to do this? We just
run.
We go, Matt, you have 10 seconds. Just out of nowhere, like, you have 10 seconds. He goes, what? And then Joel just started loading his gun. And my backyard, like that field or whatever, the house. He would just be doing zigzags, and we'd take turns shooting at him. I'm like, this is so dumb. And then I'd have the CO2.
Did he ever get a chance to shoot?
No.
That's not fair.
That's so fair. That's what you get for being the older ones. I've lived longer. I once made Matt laugh so hard he threw up in his mouth. No, in his hands. I don't know what it was, and he threw up, and he looked at me and goes, what do I do with it? I'm like, dump it out. Just like, take it to the street. Matt's an interesting character. He was on the podcast. He had the Viking helmet, the one with the pocket Skittles.
Yes, pocket Skittles.
Yeah. That guy's insane. Raised by wolves. That whole family is nuts.
Gosh, that Airsoft conversation reminds me of my shooting incident in college.
Oh, my God.
I still have the scar. Yeah. There's just 4 perfect dots.
Essentially, I moved out of the fraternity house, and I went into some of our friends' apartments who were going abroad because it was significantly cheaper, probably at $500 cheaper. And I had, like, the Island of Misfit Toys apartment. I mean, there was, I think, the number 1 drug dealer in Madison who dealt to the number 2 drug dealer in Madison who also lived in the apartment. A foreign exchange student from India. Then me and Weintraub. And the number 1 drug dealer had an airsoft gun, a CO2 gun. For those who don't understand, it's way more
That was
powerful.
a pellet gun. That was not just airsoft.
Was it a pellet gun?
Yeah.
Okay, so we had a pellet gun. And Connor was drunk, and I was like, shoot me. And he shot him 3 times in the leg, and that was, 6 years ago?
Yeah.
Still,
that's a legit scar.
Oh, yeah.
I remember he shot me the first time, and I just looked at it, didn't feel it. And
bang, bang.
Pop, pop, pop. And then I turned around, and he shot me in the back. That one healed. But that's when I was like, okay, that was a cheap shot. The leg I asked for.
Yeah.
The back was a bit much.
Do you know he's selling real estate now? Like, complete
it's a good
180.
step up from weed.
Complete 180. He could still be selling weed. I don't know. But at all times, we had a pound of weed in that apartment.
I remember when I was just given the biggest bag I've ever seen in my life, and he said, this is for free just because I like you. I was like, I'm good. I don't want this. I don't know what to do with this.
Same for me. Like, a week in, he goes, do you want this? He goes, yeah, it's kind of old. It just sat on my dresser. I'm like, I don't know how to smoke this.
No.
Because I've never bought. What are you doing? I've never bought weed in my life.
No, I've done
I guess
legally
the legal.
when I moved to Colorado again, but never.
Drugs?
No.
Never bought them. I was always given them.
I'm such a goody two-shoes, like the thought of even texting a drug dealer scares the crap out of me.
I wouldn't even know about, like, if someone asked me right now, hey, Michael, can you go get us weed? I don't know how to go about doing that right now.
Would you Google it?
I would give it I'd give it a Goog.
Give it a Goog.
I'd give it a Goog. Yeah, I literally don't know. Like, do you just meet a drug dealer? I mean, I did, but I lived with 2 of them.
Have
Who?
you heard
Cammy?
John Mulaney's bit about being like turning an innocent guy into a drug dealer?
No.
When he was on SNL, he was talking about it, and the guy was like, "Yeah, I didn't even sell drugs before this. You just kept asking me for them." So I picked some up because I was worried about you getting dangerous stuff. And I was like, "Wait, what?"
That's a fun way. Dude, you know how I told you how I met
A man.
a man as known as my roommate. My dad moving me in, and the man was splitting up the pound of weed on a table like this, like our coffee table. And he just looked and goes, "Oh, didn't know we were moving in today." I was like, "Yep." He goes, "Should I put this away?" I go, "I mean, we know you have it now. I don't think." Just
And
continue
the
on.
smell of it when you would walk into that apartment, like there was no reason to hide anything.
I got so used to it that the first night I went so quickly. The first night I went out, I remember getting asked by upwards of 10 people and be like, "Hey man, did you smoke before you came here?" Because I was not known as a smoker at all. And like, "Do you smoke before you came here?" I'm like, "No, I'm shit sober right now." Like, dude, you reek. My clothes, everything. My mom hated when she visited there.
Yeah, your mom complained about that a lot, which is fair. Like,
Yeah.
a parent, you do not want your kid just living where their clothes smell like weed cologne.
Weed all the time. And so, like, I learned to just keep my door closed a lot of the time. And then he just kind of, like, stopped smoking in the house or in the apartment. He'd go on to the balcony.
You had the balcony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked that apartment. That was nice.
That was a really cool apartment.
That was the nicest apartment I lived in terms of, like, quality. Favorite apartment? Yellow House, hands down.
Same.
Yeah, I mean, the most disgusting one I lived in.
Our beds, we could have held hands every night to go to sleep.
I've said it so many times, Connor, if you rolled fast enough, you could have landed on my bed. The gap, I'm not kidding.
The worst was when we would just both be too lazy to fold our clothes.
And just
and
be in
so
the middle.
you're sleeping on like a 6 inches of your bed and be like, "Hey, Michael."
Yeah. Dude, the gap was like this
we had
width right
one
here.
Little like
I had
plastic container drawer thing.
I still have that in my mom's garage.
And both of our beds were touching it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it would have been creepier if I actually got the bed frame and brought it up to the same level. Like, we gave ourselves an extra foot of distance because I just put a mattress on the floor.
Yeah.
We were gross. It wasn't until that summer that I was like, maybe I should get this bed situation together.
Yeah, that did. You changed that room around so much. The just blankets nailed into the
they
wall.
didn't have blinds. It was just blankets over the windows. Their decorations on dude, ours weren't great. Remember I bought like that 3-piece canvas of a leopard?
Yeah. That was an interesting choice. I was still really big into the flags and like the rally towels that you get at sporting events.
I had the Kenny Chesney flag. You had the Colorado flag.
And you had those little tin signs too.
Yep.
But those might have been in our living room.
We had the country music one above our shared nightstand or plastic drawer that you get for like $4 when you move into a dorm. But no, their decorations were Zim just
thumbtacking his jerseys.
Tom Brady T-shirt and like a Sports Illustrated poster you get out of a magazine, and that was it. And we're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
That bed, I have changed around 2 rooms completely. That room and the quad. When you left for your nerd camp.
I'm working there again this summer.
It's still a nerd camp, but
economics for leaders. It's like high schoolers get college AP credit, and I teach at it. Michael just calls it nerd camp.
Yeah, because I was never invited or would go. But the quad, 4 guys lived in that room. And then for the summer, it was going to be me and Connor. I'm like, I can't live in this room. The time it took me to clean that, I was like, I want this to be brand new. And I remember you walked in, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was a complete 180.
I mean, it went from as clean as this apartment was, like, the final product, it would probably look like, dude, it was disgusting. I mopped the floor 3 times.
When you're just hosting A-bars and everything else every week, don't have any cleaning utensils, and 3 guys who are all kind of grumpy at each other. That was a tough roommate situation.
Oh, yeah. But I think we needed that for the summer. It was clean. I felt like we could. And then the A-bars were fun in there. We had the hockey goal, and we were playing that. That was so fun.
That was a good drunk game to play.
We had a first ever podcast in that room.
We don't need to bring that up.
It's on my phone.
That was, I am not impressed with my maturity or anything that I said during that first podcast.
I think if anyone was to get in trouble from that podcast, it is Slim Jim Zimmerman, because it is, I mean, necessary inventions.
Not necessary.
Yeah, that was bad. Okay, so we're at an hour. We're going to do one story for sure, and then your question, and we're kind of there. When we cleaned the quad, we had 3 mini fridges.
Allegedly.
Yeah. This story is allegedly. When we cleaned the quad, we had I put 3 mini fridges against the wall, and one was mine, one was Connor's, one was kind of shared.
Yeah.
And we ended up just putting, like, meat in the middle one, and then stopped. I bought a thing of chicken and left it there for, I want to say, 5.5 weeks. Just in a Ziploc. And it got to the point where we're like, someone would be like, hey, where's the beer in the fridge? We're like, just don't open the middle one. It would
stink up the whole room.
Instant stink up the whole room. So we just eventually were like, we have to get rid of this and clean the fridge. So we just threw the chicken off the balcony, allegedly, at a restaurant that rhymes with Mamba. And they hated us. Like, we had to put a flag up to keep us from throwing bottles at their building.
A fraternity should not be right next to a restaurant.
No.
Bad idea.
But that gave Connor an idea, allegedly.
I think you should approach it like the OJ book, If I Did It.
So this would have given someone who allegedly lived in maybe a fraternity house approximately near Madison, Wisconsin. Good?
That was great.
All right. That what would happen if we were to take chicken breasts and leave them for the new tenants. So allegedly, you can tell the rest.
Well, if I did it, I would have had 2 major concerns. Number 1, the cameras.
Yep.
And number 2, my fingerprints.
So I got buckets, allegedly.
So we got a mop bucket and some
big
yellow rubber gloves. And I went into the bathroom just like I was
filling up
going
water
to clean.
Yeah.
But in the bucket, I had the
3
rotting chicken in plastic baggies that we poked holes into for like a delayed stink effect.
Yep.
And in this, like, 3 showers, we had 3 showers.
Standing showers.
With little vents. And we just took the vent covers off of there, put chicken inside, and just waited.
This was a day before we allegedly moved out of this alleged home approximately near Madison, Wisconsin. And what else? I was like, I wanted to do something too, so I maybe not allegedly borrowed 3 TV wall mounts for our next apartment, which worked out. But we were having new tenants in that building because the people who were supposed to live in that approximate building may or may not have gotten kicked off. So they gave it to someone else. And we were pissed.
Never wanted to do any property damage, put holes in walls. I thought that was just
We actually
childish.
cleaned up the holes in the wall.
Yes.
And
We
by
did
holes, I
patch,
mean
paint,
the amount of holes in the wall from knives.
knife throwing.
So there's this one we could definitely say we did 100% did this one. There was a mural on the wall of Camp Randall, and there was a girl in the bottom corner that I was like, that looks like Timmy Bishop. I mean, Timmy had like long hair and a ponytail. I'm like, that kind of looks like Timmy from behind. And so we just play the game like, who can hit Timmy? So we just took the kitchen knives from the basement and would just sit on the couch and throw them.
Throw knives at our wall.
We'd see if we could get them to stick in the ceiling.
It was a fun game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good time. But we cleaned all that up. All the holes from the darts. That was great.
And again, everybody just used like thumbtacks and stuff to hang things up. So
yeah, we destroyed that house before and after we allegedly lived there.
Yeah.
Like, I heard there was a group of people. I mean, nothing like the people who lived across the street from them the next year. I heard the people that lived up there would get really drunk and just buy cartons of eggs and throw them at the building and try and get them through the trees. Like, that's pretty fucked up. Like, I don't know why they did that for us. But
can't imagine
I
doing
can't
that.
imagine them doing that.
Nope.
Like, well, we would never.
Never.
Never go through, like, 13 to
Stomp their
24
bushes.
eggs. Yeah.
Steal their signs.
Take
nothing.
other, like, the thing that, like, this group of guys were just like, no, this was definitely SIG up. Would just rip their sign off all the time. I mean, very nice of them to do that, but did not need to do that. We were model citizens.
I
went to
never
class
heard
every day.
anything about the smell, though.
Never, and that bothered the shit out of me, allegedly.
It really made it not very satisfying. There was one day where, like, 4 plumbing trucks pulled up.
I was like, dude,
which I'm pretty sure might have had something to do with it. But
I'm sure they did an inspection, or they would do an inspection if that happened. Like, someone's got to be like, dude, who is destroying the bathroom every time I go in there?
that would be a fun blame game.
Yeah.
Who
Dude, it's not
in
me, I
our
swear
house
to God.
has a rotting asshole?
Dude, that shower. I mean, I want to know what it smelled like. Because it would not have taken long.
No, but it did. I think that the amount of just smelly guys that, like, our bathrooms stank, especially when we had trash cans in there and people just dump their food. So I bet it took a while to really pinpoint the issue.
Are you sure holes in the story were holes actually poked in the bag?
Mm-hmm.
Because what if, and this is a big what if, they're still there?
I have no idea.
I want to so bad see if this story is true and go undo one of those. And just if a black raw chicken, actually by now it's probably cooked from the steam. The mold on one of those would be phenomenal. Or what if it's a new way to preserve meat and it's just like super fresh? It's like,
I don't think that's how
it's
it
like
works.
wet aged. It's steam aged chicken.
That sounds disgusting.
Sound like it got like an umami flavor. I don't know.
What's
They say-
umami?
I don't know. Wax on, wax off. Okay.
Unagi.
Oh, good God. All right, you ready for your last question?
Sure.
What's your meaning of life?
Oh my gosh.
I told you this last
Like,
night.
The meaning? That's
What's-
not a question people
what's
know.
Your meaning of life. I don't think there is a
Like
meaning
my
to
purpose in life.
life. What? No. What do you think the meaning of life is, like, to you? Mine's to live. Simple. People say, "Oh, I find your purpose." They're probably all going to be relatively similar, but mine's simply. I was like, "Why am I here?" And I'm like, "To live."
I think mine is empathy. I think that I was blessed with an ability to empathize with people, connect hear your craziest stories, your worst pain, and have no judgment of that. And now that I've got the legal education, I think that I'm actually in a good spot to turn that into helping people. And my favorite client are kids. I think that helping kids is what I'm here to do. Truly.
Good.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I wanted.
Yeah.
I got nothing else. Don't clap. We're going to go get wasted. I'm just kidding. It's Monday. I can't drink anymore. I'm dead.
No, I drank more this weekend than I have in the last
I've been drinking
3 months
since
easy.
Tuesday. Like I took Thursday off.
You were in Madison, right?
Yeah. I need to go back. All right, buddy. Thank you. Say bye. Say something nice about me.
It's his birthday.
All right.